Hey everybody, welcome back. First of all, I gotta say I've definitely missed you guys a lot. I I feel like I've been cheated out of all this time we would have had to spend together this past month and 6 or 7 weeks to come. But in case you forgot what I look like, there's a little picture right there. That's kind of a backup to not being able to provide like a live video feed of me the way Birch was able to do. But here we go, real quick. Like I sort of posted or have been posting, last week or whatever. The basic timeline was ever since March 30th. All the teachers have been providing these daily review slash enrichment activities. They've been non-mandatory and they have not been graded. So ever since March 30th, all the way up to last week, non-mandatory, not graded. But starting today, what with the recent decision by the governor and people like that to completely close school, face-to-face school for the rest of the year, school year anyway, we are now going to be starting new material that will be mandatory and it will be graded. Little more details there. This week, the first week of mandatory assignments, April 20th through April 24th, we are going to be mainly finishing up the third quarter. Remember, people, like I guess I'm mainly talking to my freshmen here right now, but remember how each semester is broken up into two quarters. Semester one was first and second quarter, and then our semester right now is third quarter and fourth quarter. So we got to finish up third quarter. Now there will be some new assignments. Okay? And another major focus is turning in any old missing work that you still need to give me, that you're able to give me, or that I will allow you to give me. So make yourself aware of any missing work you might still owe me. Check Edgistar. Now let me know, okay? Let me know if, for example, you are unable to find out what you might be missing from when we were still together face to face a month ago. And also feel free to let me know if you need extra copies of stuff you might have lost or whatever. I can probably get that stuff to you. And starting next week, Monday, April 27th, and beyond, that'll be the fourth quarter. All right, so we're finishing up the third quarter this week, and then moving on to the fourth quarter next week. Now, how the heck are we going to do this? This virtual distance learning. Well, we're obviously going to be doing this Google Classroom thing. And I guess first of all, just please know that, me as the teacher, first of all, I have to kind of, take a look at how many days we have left. We lost all these days. We have only so many days left over. I have to be very selective about what topics are the most important. Okay, the meat and potatoes, as Mr. Birchanowski likes to say. So we're gonna just, again, it's just the meat and potatoes, right? It's the big things that I feel you need to have going forward. I am not gonna dump things on you like I'm not gonna dump uh, an amount of work that's too big or too big a mountain of topics. Just select topics that I feel like you need to have for your next class or for college. I say college because I have a group of seniors. I'm basically talking to three very different groups at the same time right now. I have three very different classes, right? Speaking of three different classes, one of my classes is Algebra 2. And in case you haven't heard, we're not taking the Algebra 1 Keystone this spring. Okay, Keystones are called off for now. Okay, so I guess that's the, but I gotta think you're gonna have to take them eventually. That's me guessing right now, so don't take my word for that. Don't quote me on that. But you should probably save all your notes and materials that I gave you so far, because who knows when you're going to have to take the Keystones. But the good news is that saves up time for me. Like, now I can not worry so much about all the time I was going to need to make sure you were ready to take the Keystones. So that's why I kind of put that here. You know, that's a factor for me with my Algebra 2 class. And like I already kind of said, I'm mainly thinking ahead to what you get. Remember, math is selective, right? Or it's not selective. Math is sequential, which means like you're not really allowed to forget anything. You know, you got to remember pretty much everything you learned from your last class to do your new class. So and some things are more important than others. Now, another thing, I'm going to really try to post the entire week's worth of assignments on, you know, every Monday, right? And that way you can work at your own pace, your own convenience. Everyone's got their own little different situation going, you know, at home, where like you might have to share devices or internet bandwidth or something. I don't know, but and I will provide due dates, you know, but those are, I mean, you should try to stick to those. Like, my advice is to try to stick to those due dates, but they are just suggested due dates. If you have to turn in something quote unquote late, no worries, but don't get behind, okay? Okay, moving on. For the most part, here's how things are going to work. When I post an assignment, you're going to see a lot of attached PDF files. There's going to be PDF files for like notes, handouts, like in case you have a printer, you know. There's going to be PDF files for homework assignments that you can look at or even print out if you have a printer. And I might even do some quizzes or tests by just sending you a PDF file. More on that in a few minutes. You're also going to see a lot of YouTube videos being attached to these assignments and classwork. As a lot of you guys know, I have my own YouTube channel. It's got about, I think I'm going on 30 subscribers or something last time I checked. But I have a YouTube channel that I'm going to be sending you links or attaching, you know, videos for, and pretty much for every lesson, for every section, for every homework assignment, basically there's going to be like a corresponding YouTube video to help you learn the material. Now, I guess to kind of give you a little bit more inside baseball here. Again, I have three very different groups of kids here, three different classes. For my calculus BC kids, your quizzes and tests are probably just going to be the typical PDF file, paper copy. And then for like my integrated Math 1 kids, I'm going to try to do quizzes and tests pretty much on this Google quiz thing. Maybe you've done that before. It's technically through like Google Forms, if you know what that means. But pretty much an online quiz, which hopefully I'm going to try to make them multiple choice. And you're just going to do these quizzes and tests directly online through Google, their Google Classroom, you know, Google Quizzes. Now this is, gosh, this is probably the toughest part, and where like me being a math teacher, it's making my life a little tougher, and this just being a math class, and for you guys as well, actually doing and turning in this classwork. So if you have a printer, then that's probably the best case scenario. And I guess if you have a printer and you have plenty of paper and you're not worried about skimping on printer ink and printer paper, That's probably your best case scenario. But hey, when I was your age, I didn't have a printer, or I'm sure most of you don't have a printer. I don't have a printer either. So you're going to want to do these notes and homework assignments on separate notebook paper. Hopefully you have a bunch of notebook paper laying around. Maybe you can make a Walmart run or something. Put on your gloves and masks and go get a couple notebooks or something. I don't know, but you're going to probably need some notebook paper, and you can do your notes and more on that in a minute. But what you're going to want to do, as a routine, is watch the videos. Take the time to watch the videos and follow along, okay? Which means taking notes. Don't just twiddle your thumbs as you're watching the video. Have a piece of paper. Maybe the notes handout you print out, but have a piece of paper, have a pencil. Write down whatever I'm writing down or showing you in the videos, okay? That it'll engage more of your brain and it'll maximize your potential for learning the material. And look, you have a big advantage with this distance learning thing. You can pause the video as many times as you want. You can re-watch the video different parts as many times as you want. So take advantage of that, and so make sure you don't skimp on that part of it, the video and the notes. And of course, you're going to be completing all the assignments I give you. I am not trying to crush you. We're trying not to overwhelm you on purpose. It's a very tough, unique situation we're all in, okay? But so that much more reason to please complete all the assignments and turn them in. Now, speaking of turning them in, probably the real tough part. If any of you guys have a scanner at home, I guess that's the other half of like the best case scenario. But I'm sure most of you are just going to need to do the whole phone pics, like snap a phone pic or something of your work and send that to me, hopefully directly through Google Classroom. I'm going to ask you to try to do it directly through Google Classroom, where it's all going to be like automatically organized for me. You can probably imagine how crazy my email inbox can get, But hey, do what you got to do. If you pretty much have to just email that phone pic or those phone pics to me directly from your phone or whatever, and email that to my email, falkj@flbapps.net, then hey, do what you got to do. Or a Google Doc. Google Docs are not amazing for math, but I mean, like, if that's what works best for you to turn in a homework through a Google Doc, then hey, go for it. Just somehow, some way, get me your work. Again, hopefully directly through Google Classroom. And if you have any trouble with that, please let me know. Speaking of that, here's what it should look like in case you're kind of like a noob. Hey, check this out. Back in 2016, when the teachers were being introduced to all this new Google Classroom stuff, this is a pretend class that Mr. Humphreys made and invited me as his student. So it's a jousting class where I had to, one of the assignments was to buy a good horse and a spear pole thing. You mean a lance, Mr. Humphreys? God. But anyway, this is what I was talking about. This is what it should look like. You should be able to add or create your assignment. So you click right here, and then you're probably going to get this drop-down menu. And look, here it is. You can attach the file. You can attach your phone pic or phone pics. You can attach, if you happen to have a scanner and you scanned it to be like a PDF or something, or a I don't know, I don't know what kind of file it is for like a picture. I don't know. But I mean, there it is. You can attach your scan, you can attach your phone pic right there, or you can create a Google Doc or something and then click that turn in button. Now, if you need help, do not be shy. Do not hesitate to try watching the video or videos again. It's amazing, just one more repetition or a couple more repetitions of looking it over and watching it and listening to it can make things click. But the big thing is, feel free to drop in anytime during my office hours. I'm going to have office hours, video conferencing. So drop in anytime during my office hours, or just to say hi. Again, I miss you guys. If you feel like just dropping in, you're bored, just to kind of shoot the breeze with me, hey, feel free, man. That'd be great. I'd love it. But write these down, okay? Pause this video if you have to, and write down these every Monday, every Wednesday, every Friday, 9:30 to 10:30 a.m. But that's too early. No, it's not. Well, if it is too early, which it's not, then we also have Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 1:30 to 2:30 p.m. Okay? Or by appointment, right? If there's an emergency, or if these times are not working for you that week or something, feel free to reach out to me, and we can do like a private video chat or something. Do not hesitate, please. I'm sitting at home quarantined just like you are, right? And I'm gonna so make an appointment. But now, as far as how to access these video conferences, it should be pretty simple. I mean, I think I'll just have these links I can provide right on our daily classroom stream, the homepage of our Google Class. So anyway, are there any questions so far? No? No questions? No? Any comments? All right. A couple tidbits about grades. First of all, for the third quarter, as you should know, we have like 3 different categories with 3 different weights. For the fourth quarter, that's going to change. We're going to simplify it, for the fourth quarter. Plus, we're only at home, right? It's pretty much all homework anyway, but that's not, anyway. The overall, right, the bottom line is there's only going to be one category, and it doesn't matter what we call it, but for me, it's just going to be homework, okay? HW. But hey, look, there's no longer different weights on different categories, but there will be different point levels. You know what I mean? Like, point totals will vary. What I mean by that is typical assignments, homework assignments, review assignments, those are going to be like somewhere in like the 10 to 35 point range, whereas quizzes or tests are going to be worth 100 points. Okay, and something else I want to tell you. If you remember, for me, for the third quarter, quizzes and tests were kind of like 2 different animals, and tests were much more like they were more weighted than, they were worth more than quizzes. But for the fourth quarter, there's not going to be a difference. Quizzes, tests, they're all worth 100 points. Okay, there's not really a difference. Other thoughts or advice. Now, before I finish off here, like we're in the final stretch, okay? But before I get into my miscellaneous other thoughts, it is time for the secret code word. The secret code word is calculator. So once again, the secret code word that you're going to Type into a Google Doc, and that's what you're turning in for this first assignment, right? That secret code word is calculator. Now, moving on. Other thoughts slash advice. First of all, look. Hopefully, this is not like really tough for you, right? Everyone's got their own different situation at home. I mean, I know when I was your age, I didn't have my own desk or a whole lot of space to myself. But hopefully you're able to kind of get yourself a little private, personal workspace where you're not going to be distracted easily. You know what I mean? You have like your pencils organized, and hopefully you have a calculator and your papers and all that kind of stuff, and a little space for your computer or something, or your phone. I don't know. But so once again, do what you can. I think it'll go a long way to kind of set aside where you're free from noise or distractions. Look, I get it. It's probably going to be tough enough as it is, just being at home, to avoid distraction. I mean, in class you have jerk teachers like me, right? Who's always watching you like a hawk to make sure you're not distracted or on your phone or off task or something. But you gotta be disciplined, okay? Trust me, like I'm in the same boat, okay? Let me tell you, when I was your age in high school, I got into these Final Fantasy PlayStation games, these RPG games, right? And in high school, I played this Final Fantasy VII, okay? And they just, after all these years like of working on it, came out with like the remake, the high definition or whatever, PlayStation 4 remake. So I bought it on like the day after it came out, right? I was lucky enough to find a copy, and there was like 2 left at Target. And I started playing it, and I didn't get very far, and all of a sudden the word came out that the governor and whatever, school was called off for the rest of the year, and we were going to have to start putting this online learning into high gear. So I haven't touched my PlayStation since that word came out, and believe me, I'm tempted. Okay, so I'm in the same boat as you. I feel your pain, but please avoid distractions and get your work done. That's your job right now. Okay. Time management, I think that speaks for itself. Once again, you probably have devices you got to share, or I don't know, internet you have to share with siblings, or even with your parents or guardians for their job. You know what I mean? So manage your time and keep track of all your assignments. And then again, to go along with your personal workspace, try to stay organized. Man, how much was I trying to drill into your head, literally? No, not literally. About having an organized binder and keeping all that neat and tidy. Look, even though you might not be able to print out all these notes handouts and homework handouts, keep all your papers in order, in a folder, in a binder. Keep it organized, okay? It'll go a long way and contribute to your success. Now, my final little extra thought here and piece of advice for your own good here, all right? Please, I know this is a very weird and different situation. This is new to all of us, okay? We're learning as we go here, all of us. But please, like, take this seriously. And again, I'm thinking of you here, okay? More than me or more than Mr. Rimpa, okay? This is for your own best interest. Give this your honest, most legitimate effort, please. And what I mean by that is when you're at home And, again, no one's watching you like a hawk, during things like tests. You know, I'm not like there's obviously ways out there for you guys to take shortcuts. And I mean, I don't want to say cheat, but I mean to cheat, okay? And I want to tell you that you're only hurting yourself because look, right now this is all about working together, making the most of this tough situation, right? Staying safe, and because believe me, people, it's like I'm not going crazy with work. I'm not going to go crazy and grade your quizzes and tests, you know, strictly. I'm not going to be overly strict. No one is. Like the teachers are going to be going out of their way to make this as painless and as easy for you as possible. There's no reason at all to take shortcuts. Basically, you want to kind of like reward us in kind. We're trying to make this easy and painless for you, and make it as easy as possible for you to get like a really good grade. I feel it's the least you can do to give your honest, most legitimate effort, because again, it's going to be easy enough anyway to get a good grade. Trust me. And you got to think about how this is going to set you up for your next math class, whether it's in college or my integrated 1 kids are going to be moving into algebra 1. I want you to you got to be ready for algebra 1, right? We're getting into a lot of big time topics that are going to set you up for algebra 1, okay? And then for my algebra 2 kids, right? If you find yourself in pre-calculus, next year or whatever, you want to be ready for that. You're going to be lost if you blow off what we're going to be doing here online in this last in these last 6 or so weeks of the fourth quarter. I hope you understand what I just said there about giving your best and legitimate effort. And finally, don't forget, just to kind of finish this off here, don't forget that for this assignment, add a Google Doc with the secret code word. Turn that sucker in. Don't forget to check Edustar to see if you have any missing work for the third quarter, and keep track of what your grade is for your third quarter. And again, if you ever need anything, just let me know, okay? I'm here for you. We are truly all in this together, okay? See you, gang. Let's make this a really good last month and a half or so, and let's finish strong.